Welcome to the Emo Social Club podcast, broadcasting to you live from emosocialclub.tv. I am Brian.
And I'm Lizzie, and we're here this evening with our new friend and your probably friend as well, Zachary Ross of Zachary Ross and The Divine, and formerly also, well, still as Man Overboard as well. So welcome so much, dude. We appreciate hanging with you.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate being had.
Appreciate being had. We
Happy
are.
To be here.
I mean, obviously, Man Overboard is just one of those names that's been in the scene for a while. But we should probably let's get into your new band first and give a little bit of some information about Zachary Ross and Divine, and I'm sure we'll talk a bit more about Man Overboard. But let's make sure we plug this new band, which I guess we're so sorry we announced it on Twitter.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's don't be sorry. I was doing it. I was talking about it and showing it off on Instagram and I was even going live on Instagram and being playing songs and being this is my new band, listen to it. So I just really hadn't I knew that I just had to say something because if people, I don't know, only followed me on Twitter, then they would probably be like, huh? Mm-hmm. So no, but it's cool. It's all good. It's all good, baby.
There we go.
So where'd the inspiration come from? What is it? Aside from you, who is Divine? Who is Divine with you? All the good parts of it.
Yes. It's me and a lot of my friends from this area. My bass player, Travis, he sings in a ska band. You should check out a ska punk band if people are into that type of thing, like No Effects, Screeching Weasel, that type of thing. And they're called the Bad Ups from Pennsylvania. And my guitar player's name is Kane, and he actually sings in a pretty well-known death metal band called Vomit Forth. And he's the lead singer. Yeah, he's the lead singer of Vomit Forth. So if anybody, some people may have heard of them, and he's playing guitar with me. And then we have our buddy Jason, who's a little younger than us, playing drums. And this is kind of his first real deal thing. It's just that not everybody in Man Overboard understandably has the time, in life right now to do a band full time. And I want to do a band full time. So it's all good that. And so I found some guys that were interested in doing that with me and went out and we bought out a record label and all the infrastructure and everything that Man Overboard had back in place, to be honest with you, and just keep the same engine and swap faceplates and be like, this is it now, and we try to get this train rolling again, to be honest.
It's like
there's no
swapping out
it's
the
not like there's
drum.
no it's not like there's no the head on the front of it.
Yeah.
There's no it's not it has no bearing on Man Overboard. It's simply I would be doing something else right now, and waiting to between Man Overboard things. I would be doing something else right now, and I'd rather be doing this. I just want a band. That's what I want to do. So that's what it is. I tried being normal, quote unquote. I tried for a couple years to fit in a little more, I think, with society or whatever. Not to sound so insane and cliche, but I really did. And then just it's I feel like it's a super the oldest story in the book. I was just this isn't me. So I need to make a new band. And here we are.
Nice.
Yeah.
It all came together. And I mean, we kind of said too, we kind of put it out on Twitter because it wasn't on Twitter, but you've been playing lives of some of your new songs that you have coming out.
Yeah.
And you have one coming out on the 24th this week, A Light Over Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about it more?
Of course. Happy to. Well, that song in particular is actually kind of a tribute to my friend Tim, who played guitar in Transit, Tim Landers. He passed away 2 years ago. He's probably my closest friend to me that ever died. So it threw me through a loop. Wrote that song about it, so that's the deal with that song. I want to pay tribute to my friend, and I think it's a good song for us to start with as far as singles go, because we all felt like it sounded kind of like half like a Man Overboard song, but also like with a little bit of like the new elements we are trying to throw into the mix are getting introduced a little bit. So it's like a nice middle ground for people. I feel like if people have been waiting, quote unquote, for new Man Overboard, or have been supporting me since Man Overboard and stuff, I don't want to come at you with something that sounds like crazy and like upside down and not what you're expecting. I'm never going to. Like, it's never going to sound like that. But I especially don't want to get too nuts on my first real single in like a few years. You know, I wanted it to be something that Man Overboard fans would like, and I think it. I felt confident about that with this one, you know?
Obviously, like, genre-wise and coming in with new members of a band and new influences over time. Obviously, you were in Man Overboard for a long time, and I'm sure you were excited to try some different genre styles and different vibes and different feelings in that. What kind of, like, excited you musically, like, doing something new for this project?
Really, just to be completely honest with you guys, it's funny because I'm on the emo social club, but it was not having to, it was that I wasn't writing for a band with pop punk written on our shirt. It was that, defend pop punk. Like, it wasn't that kind of, I could shed that a little bit, and not have to. Frankly, I don't care if some people have been asking me, what's it sound like? And I've been like, it sounds like me, or it sounds like Man Overboard, but like, it's not really that like punk. Like, I don't like, it's still like, I think it's catchy and poppy and melodic, and it's rock based music. It's guitar based. And it's like, I sing about like girls and stuff like I do. And it's very me, but I don't know how like punk it is, really. You know what I mean? So I think it was like, what inspired me was like, honestly, what inspired me was listening to music that I loved when I was a child, like Guns N' Roses and stuff. Because that's not what it sounds like at all, but that's what the
inspo overall.
That's what inspired me. Just being like, man, you could be yourself, or like you could structure it like this, or if you want your guitar to sound like that, it can sound like that. That's cool. You can have this drum beat, stuff like that.
Yeah, it feels like music now. I mean, like, I have not escaped the Kate Bush Running Up That Hill song since Stranger Things premiered, and like, it's still just like everywhere to me. Like, I browse Instagram for like 5 minutes and I'm like, dude, now it's stuck in my head again. But it's like that song, which is, an 80s song or however old it is, covered by a bunch of different artists like years ago, and now is like, people are going to be influenced by Kate Bush today. And it's like, I feel like there's just so much room now where the influences of like a lot of people's childhoods, a lot of ages ago, people who are hearing music for the first time from that era, it's like, I can just kind of do whatever I want and add it to any genre of music now.
I agree. I think that's like in vogue right now, having that mindset. Like, I back it. But I think being like a purist or whatever is like cool too. Like, I'm not knocking it. Someone was like, we're making a pop punk band, and that's like what we are. And every song is like fast, and it's always like really loud and blah blah blah. And we never have any like chill parts or anything like too emotional or anything. Like, we're like skater boy. I think anything's cool being dedicated to like a specific genre. If people do want to like put themselves in a round hole, like you know what I mean? I do think that's cool. I really do. If like anything, if you came up to me and you were like, yo, we're a country band, strictly, I'd be like, that's awesome. Like, you rule, like your conviction rules. I just don't think that's never been how I saw my career going with a guitar, which is, it's like Man Overboard made these Defend pop punk shirts, and all of a sudden I was the pop punk guy, but like, I just think of myself as someone who's gonna write like romantic music with a guitar that's like rock kinda. That's how I've always thought of myself. I think Man Overboard was like a pop punk band, and we really leaned into like our punk influences a lot. But I never I don't want to be in my 30s touring or for records that like I don't want to write songs that sound like I'm 22 anymore, and they're not going to, and I don't want to pretend like I'm that age anymore. You know, I don't want to like cosplay as a 22 punk guy forever. I really don't. I really don't, and I think people like me more if I don't. Like
we call that growth.
Yeah,
like I have something else. Like I have something else that I really want to offer. You know, so it's like being able to like maybe most like that's like 99% mental, but making the new band was sweet because that mental hill got like conquered. You know?
I think like we hear that a lot though, is that people will come back with new music and it'll be like not even that wildly different, but then everybody will be like, this isn't the original, whatever it is. And there are bands like you mentioned are like, yes, I'm like strictly pop punk, I'm strictly indie, whatever it is. But it's like, you know, we have this argument a lot with like these kind of like staple bands. Like when Paramore came out with After Laughter, when My Chem came out with Danger Days, everybody was like, oh, what is this? When Fall Out Boy came out with their post hiatus, everyone was like, what is this? I don't like it. But it's like, these are these people growing up and doing all these different things and doing something that they want to do rather than playing into stuff that they did when they were younger.
I agree. And I think sometimes people don't realize that had this band done the other thing, had they done what these people are suggesting, it wouldn't be good. You wouldn't like it. It would be awkward. It would be weird because those bands are out there, and it's awkward. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's just like, trust us.
I constantly think like there's a lot of bands. Some bands have commented on it. Like I've heard Kenny from the Starting Line comment on it on stage where he's like, dude, I can't sing songs I wrote when I was 17 anymore because my voice has changed. But then like Jonathan Davis of Korn is constantly like, I was bullied in high school. Here's my band. I'm 45 years old and I named my kid Pirate. Like every word you're saying doesn't make any fucking sense, Johnny Daves. Like what the fuck?
I think there's like a middle ground where like with Kenny, I totally understand what he's like. I understand why his band Vacationer sounds wide does. Like I understand why it's so wildly different. Like what he's saying because he's not the same dude. Like. You two aren't. Nobody's the same person they were at that age. Nobody is. And
thank God.
But I think it's like a middle ground. I'm saying, for me personally, I would never go as far as to say I don't want to be up here singing songs I wrote when I was 17. I wrote "Love Your Friends Die Laughing" by Man Overboard when I was like 18. Yeah, I would just go as far as to say I don't want to spend my whole set in my 30s playing songs I wrote when I was 17. Sure. I would like you guys to also like some songs I wrote when I was 20, 29, 30, 31, 32. That would be cool to also know the words to that one. But I mean, never be like, hey, that song's old. You guys got to get with the program. Not that that's what he's doing, but you know what I mean. I think there's a middle ground. I think if you wrote something a long time ago, and everybody loves it, then you should play it every night, and you probably will play it every night forever. And furthermore, you're really lucky to have a song like that. A lot of bands would kill, but it's just. But there's also like I don't want to. That was just like the first few episodes of You Gotta Watch My Show. There's another season. Like, keep watching. You know what I mean? Like, the plot, it's not over.
Like, I'm in season 4 of Game of Thrones, but I'm never going to reach my season 8. You know, because it sucked really bad.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
This is what we do here in the Emo Social Club is give Game of Thrones takes.
Mainly just Brian. I think he's the only one who's watched it.
I'm ready to.
So does that mean that whenever you possibly, if you do go back on tour, we can hear a selection of new music and Man Overboard like songs, or would it just be?
Well, we're definitely going to be like touring, and I think that eventually the Divine will get to a point where there's like there's not. I could see me like sneaking an acoustic Man Overboard song in here or there, giving the band a break. But beyond that, it turns into a thing where I feel weird without them. It turns into that where it's like almost doesn't feel right to me. to a degree, like some stuff would, like I said, if I could see myself busting out like that song "Love Your Friends Die Laughing" with an acoustic guitar, let everybody in my band go drink water, get a little break and stuff. But it's like I said, it's like I've been saying, I would like to, ideally for me, I would do that, and there would be a portion of the crowd that's like, what is that song? I don't know this song. I just listened to The Divine. I'm like too young to know this song, or I just don't. That's not my world. You know what I mean? That would be nice, but it's like I said, I'll always appreciate and never have a problem like honoring or playing the stuff that I've done that people are fans of. I'm grateful for. But then it's also like we do want to do Man Overboard stuff still, and we do want to play shows together and stuff. So I don't want to like suck all the air out of that, at all.
On your Instagram, you had posted, like, obviously the pandemic, 2 years into a 2-week little break, 2-week pause of playing Among Us and never seeing our friends again. But now that COVID is over, this is all a joke. Everything I'm saying right now is a joke. Please don't come for me. But like now that it's obviously you're focusing on this new band, and I know that like the 10-year anniversary thing never happened, but I don't know what you are feeling about that now, or if you have any different opinion on it. But
I don't have a different. I mean, I am still bummed that COVID got in the way of it happening. But yeah, it's like it's given me an opportunity to do this stuff with the new band. That's for sure. I don't think that it's what we would be doing right now anyway. It's just that like there's a couple guys in our band who, their children are at critical years of their lives where anyone, myself included, would really want to be there for them as much as possible. And then on top of that, there's like professional ventures and stuff. For me, it's a band, but there's other people that it might not be a band, but they have other things that they're trying to get done for themselves, going out for them in the world, So I don't know if it's like they get in the way of each other, the Divine and Man Overboard, really at all. Mm-hmm. And the cool thing with the Divine is kind of like it's my schedule, you know what I mean? Like so like it's not. I don't really have to make it work with a bunch of people in the same way that I have to do with Man Overboard, So, meaning if all the guys in Man Overboard's magically schedule got cleared and they said, Zach, let's do something, blah, 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 I could go, okay, like we will. I'll just make sure that the Divine doesn't have to do anything that week, unless it's already done. But they would never. They know how bands and schedules work, so everything should be fine.
It's kind of the way that a lot of artists are feeling now, is like, and obviously your name is there on the project, so it's your project, but a lot of bands just seem to be more based in like one person, and it's like one person making music and putting together other artists behind them to work with and collaborate off of, but like it's more based on your art, your creation, and then you can bring out whoever you want on tour, rather than being like a 4-piece band where everybody has their feeling, or however many people are in it.
Yeah, I think
about to say Slipknot, and I'm like, no, that's too many people. There's too much going on in Slipknot.
I think that a lot of that has to do with computers and like home recording and the availability of people getting better at recording stuff at home and being able to make something completely on their own. Whereas in the 80s and 90s, you could never just like make a acceptable recording for people to listen to entirely on your own unless you had a studio of your own. But now anybody can. I think in my case, it's just like I made so many bands in my life and projects and stuff that for me, like it was originally just going to be called Zachary Ross. Like we'd signed to Smart Punk Records, and it was just like, as far as they were concerned, it's like Zachary Ross. That was just the name of the band. And the contract had been signed, and I was in the studio recording, and I like texted Matt, who's the manager of the label, and I was like, I want like a band name. Like it was that like late, and I was like, I want it to be like my friends. I want like to bring my friends to be in the band and have it be. I was like, like Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, or now I can't think of any, but there's like a million. But obviously, everybody knows what I mean. That's like the most classic template for like a band name, for like, you know what I mean, such and such and the so and so's, you know. And
which would actually be a great band name. Such and such and the so and so's.
Yeah, so I was like, I wanted to be like that, and they were like, that's cool. So it kind of happened organically with me, but that's because I do feel kind of uncomfortable, and I do feel kind of weird having it just be Zachary Ross. That was a little strange to me. It just didn't felt weird. It felt naked.
It felt like you just didn't have your homies with you when they were really with you.
You felt like when we added and the Divine, because it was these guys were going to be in the band like anyway, you know what I mean? Like the people that are touring with me were going to tour with me. The people that came to the studio with me were coming anyway. They were down to be in a band called Zachary Ross. They were fine. They were like, it's fine, it's cool. But when we added the Divine, I felt like this is my final form. You know what I mean? It was just like
final form.
Yeah, like in a movie, like a superhero looks at himself, but he does the finishing touch on his uniform before in the mirror. You know what I mean? And you're like, shit, yeah, that was it. That was it. Like, good, that was it. Now
that's what I needed.
Like, mwah, that's what it is. Let's go. Yeah, it was just like a feeling of that, you know?
I can imagine, like, being a band that, like, everybody gets on Panic at the Disco for being Brendan Urie, and it's like, yeah, the name is Panic at the Disco, though. Like, it's still a band. Yeah. There's still people on stage. Like, it's...
Sure.
I don't know why we've found this, like, definition and said it is unchangeable and it is... like there is no difference there has to be a strict convention of what a band is, how it is named, how it is labeled, and like when you're seeing them live it has to look like this. And it's like, cool, we did everything else with like genre, but we haven't figured out how to just look at multiple people on stage and understand like what the band is called. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's like Dashboard Confessionals, Chris Carrabba. Or if or say Brandon Urie. Okay, let's just say it was that. Let's say Panic was just like a dude with a banjo, and that was it. He wants it to be called Panic at the Disco, and it's his art. So get over it. If I made a movie, it's called what I say it's called. You know what I mean?
Maybe we just need to have you aggressively tell people that to accept certain things.
No, you don't. I think a lot of people I think I have takes that people will agree with. But I'm too abrasive to like have a platform where I'm giving them all the time. I'm too mean.
This could be a YouTube series of Zachary Ross
feels like you're describing
and the Divine
the
being abrasive towards hot takes.
Yeah, it's like I don't even. Yeah, I get too worked up a little bit.
That's sometimes that's content. That's just like
it's okay.
And also, it's in many ways, not that I think we need a lot of music takes that are agitative propaganda, but I'm also like, dude, I get so fucking tired of people talking on Twitter and just like having these thoughts where they're just like, it's not a band, Sweaty. And it's like, dude, shut up.
Sweaty.
You're 14 years old with an iPhone. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Like, calm down.
Well, and then there's also part of me, too, that's like, well, I try to be fair. I try to think like at least a 14-year-old for at least like a minute. And then I would go like, well, it's not my fault. This is me if I was 14 in 2022. Hearing us, I would go, it's not my fault your old ass didn't have Twitter and Instagram and shit when you were 14. Sorry we got to express ourselves and you couldn't. Sorry you had to draw your feelings on a notebook when I have to and inside your locker and nobody cared. And I have 3,000 followers and I'm not even in 9th grade yet. That's what I would have been like. I was a pretty mean little kid, so like
pretty mean bullying.
There's part of me that'd be like, if a kid said that to me, I would be like, damn, I just got owned.
Yeah. L plus ratio plus owned on the internet.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. I guess my point is like, I'm thankful that I didn't have the internet at that age because I think I do see a lot of stuff that I'm like, oh, geez. But like, it's gonna be the norm. So someone closer to our age wants to go, when you're older, you know, you're going to read that and you're going to cringe. You're going to make yourself cringe. But, like, honestly, the truth is, like, nah, because when they're older, everyone their age has the cringe posts. It'll be really normal to look back on your own stuff and be like, man, I was an idiot. I just don't have the evidence of it. I know I was there mentally. You know what I mean?
We all remember Tumblr 2014, okay? We all know we were in our peak cringe phase.
Yeah, it's like you had one. Okay.
I was a reader, not a writer.
And they have one too. It's just sometimes I wish I didn't have to read it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Like, this is all, you know, when your parents are ever like, you know, oh, well, when you're my age, you're going to, you know, feel this way about it. It's like, you don't have any idea how I'm going to feel when I'm your age, because life hasn't stayed the exact same from your age to my age. Like, let's just accept that, like, everybody's on their own journey, and you can be like, I feel firmly okay having really strong, aggressive, opinionated takes on the dumbest nonsense on the internet. That seems exactly appropriate. Anything that does not directly, like, man, I do not care for Fall Out Boy's post-hiatus stuff, and I'm going to let everybody know. And it's like, yeah, man, nobody gives a shit about you.
Because that's a friendly conversation, though.
Yes. Yeah,
you know
you
what
can
I mean?
be angry about that and have a good talk. And I'm not going to look back at that in 10 years and cringe.
I do that with Brian all the time. We just argue about it, and it's okay.
No, I think that I see trends online of, I don't know if it's like band takes and stuff. I think some people will get a little older and be like, I may have been oversharing for like 4 straight fucking years. Like I hit that point, and it's like an age thing, and that's why I'm glad I didn't have it even younger. Yeah. To be honest. But it's just like I just said, that's me. I always try to keep a mentality of a young person in every single situation I'm in. So, like I said, if you, like it's everything becomes normal. If I'm 15 right now, I post every single thought of mine on Twitter. 90% of them are cringe, and guess what? So does the next kid, and 90% of his are too, and so is the next kid, and 90% of his are too. You know why? Because we're 15. It's just I didn't have Twitter at 15. You know what I mean? So I get it. You know, it's all good.
All I had was really MySpace bulletins.
Yeah, I had MySpace. Yeah, and I'm sure that I was a joke. If I could look at it now, and I thought I was hot shit. But I know, and I'm sure I wasn't, or maybe I was. You know what I mean? Like,
it's literally impossible to find out because of MySpace.
We will
being
never
down.
know.
Yeah.
You cannot find that out. Thanks Timberlake.
Yeah, really dropping the ball here, Mr. Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, I don't think that teenagers have gotten any more or less anything, and as the years are going on, I just think that the people who aren't teenagers, their window into the teenage mind has gotten so much larger and clearer. That adults, way more than they used to be, are like, what the hell? These kids, blah, blah, blah. When it's like, because it's like right there laid out for everyone on the internet. You know what I mean? You don't have to like drive past the school and look at this yard and be like, what are they wearing? That's like what the 80s were like.
No.
Oh, these pants.
That's not good to do in any way.
If you're an adult, don't go to complain around schools.
Yeah, no, don't go where teenagers are and hang out with them to try to be cool.
No,
that's
I'm saying
a big
like a crotchety, like an old lady who in the 80s or 90s is looking at a boy with like studs and green hair, and she's like, ew, like. People, like, what is that freak? And, like, people just, like, see more now. You know what I mean? People see more. In a way, it kind of sucks, because everything's less edgy and nothing is shocking.
Yeah.
I can't make any old ladies mad anymore.
You can't.
My looks and my style and my hair colors.
When I was a kid, if you had your hands or your neck tattooed, it meant you were a badass. And now it means you're like a chef, I think, or a barber.
What?
You are 100% a bartender or a chef or a bar. Yeah. You work in the service industry because you have hand tattoos.
Yeah. But
you're like the best at it.
Yeah, it's all good. All my friends have hand and neck tattoos, so I'm just playing. But like, but you see what I mean? Everything's like chiller now. Everything's okay now. Everything's okay. I guess I'm not complaining about that, but it takes the fun out of stuff a little bit when it comes to it comes to art.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to art.
It makes it easier to like integrate with stuff. I mean, I know at least at my work, I came in and they were like, "Oh, you can't miss one of my employees." They're like, "Oh, she has pink hair," and I'm like, "I literally have purple hair. What are you saying?" And they looked at me and I'm like, "Do you want to say it again?"
Well, yeah. I'm not gonna. I can't. You can't miss her. She's got pink hair. It's like, whoa.
What do we do?
Wow, wait, hold on, let me get my sunglasses. I might go blind checking this broad out. But like it's insane. But that's the thing, it's not like that anymore. That was probably like a little bit slightly older person who said that to you, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, def.
You know, so people, which is cool. Obviously, I'm not complaining that the world is more open-minded. Just like I said, it makes it a little more difficult sometimes to do something cool when it comes to art, I think. You know,
I mean, I feel like you and I are probably of a similar generation, a similar age, and I am constantly fighting the urge to tell every kid that I run into to get off my lawn, as though I own every lawn. I don't even have a lawn. Just get off.
I think we're of the same age, but I don't do. Yeah, I'm not concerned with the lawn though. Right.
I just like. I feel like there's a part of me that like had people look at me when I was younger, when I was like definitely less edgy than I am currently. At 35, I feel way edgier than I was when I was like 19, 20, like just fresh out of college, just trying to find myself. And like people were just like, I don't want to talk to that guy with a nose piercing and long hair. And it's like,
well, yeah, because in a way you are. You're if you guys do a podcast, right, and that's like your main thing, then that's alternative. That's not like really what most people do for like an income or a job or anything at all for like, you know what I mean? But doing your own thing and being creative at like 24 is like normal.
yeah.
When you're still sticking to your guns about something in your 30s, it is weirder. It is edgier. You are weirder. You're right. Like,
Don't you want a job and a house? It's like, I can't afford a house.
None
even
of
if
us
I have a job.
can own a house in
You're
this
like,
economy.
I literally
Silly.
don't want one. Get out of my face.
Yeah.
It's true. I've never felt. In some ways, I feel myself get older, but it's just like smarter and less like my emotions are more controlled. But I don't feel any. I don't feel in the classic and the stereotypical ways that people say they're feeling old. I don't. I feel the the blade is only getting sharper, to be honest with you.
Do you feel more, because this is what I don't tell anybody like, oh, you'll change like this part of your personality, but the older I get, the less shits I have to give about literally anything. Like somebody feels very passionate about something that to me is like, that doesn't mean anything and doesn't matter. I just am like very quick to just go, who cares? Like just,
me too.
Who cares?
That's what I think we learn what to give a shit about and what to not to give a shit about. You get a little better at picking your battles, you know? Mm-hmm. Like in every sense of the word, and with like caring about something, like you said, with exerting energy because you might not like someone's opinion or because you disagree with what they just said. Literally just going, and it's not even being like, no, girl, I'm not giving you the energy. Like it's it's like being like, no, it took no effort for me. I have no interest in giving you the energy. Like what? Right. Giving you the energy? What? It was second nature for me to not give you the energy. I naturally ignored you.
Yeah.
That's how like you knew like you grew up a little, because you were coming at me with some bullshit, not because like I'm a bad person.
Right.
Who's not listening to you. Because you were coming at me with some bullshit. And I think that when I noticed that stuff, I think that's like getting a little bit older for me. You know, That's a thing.
That's why I tell everybody getting older is fucking awesome. Like, dude, I have so much more mental time. Like, just like
I like my body more than I ever have. Straight up, I really do. Like more than I did like in high school and stuff. I am very comfortable in a lot of ways and I was always like a pretty cocky kid, but I'm comfortable in ways that I'm a different kind of confident, I think, because it was like misplaced, fake, false confidence when I was like a teenager. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like a front, you know?
Yeah.
Where now it doesn't. It's like, oh no, I like love myself. So like I have a different type of like I think a different type of energy, you know, but that I'm happy with, and that definitely happened between Man Overboard and my new band. That did not happen during Man Overboard. I did not grow during Man Overboard. I did not grow. Yeah.
Do you feel like in the scene before, like Warped Tour and those kinds of like bigger fests and back in the day, like with the punk rock scene and the emo scene and all that, like, do you feel that it was basically just a rolling frat house of like a bunch of kids that were learning and growing like in an environment that is not maybe as conducive to growing as it should have been?
Yeah, I think that a lot of kids though who were as like, yeah, but I think that's on the individual. Like if I put drugs in front of you, did I shoot you up with them, or did you put it in your arm? Like kind of like that. Like was it conducive to us to growing up? No, but I know my failures and my shortcomings were on me. They weren't on the surroundings I was in were say I was hanging out on someone's bus and some situation, no matter what it was, with drugs or people or something that I shouldn't have been involved in. I went there. I could have been on another. I bet you the bus next door, they were just playing Smash Bros or something. You know what I mean? And I could have gone there. Like I think it does. Like I guess I'm saying, yeah, there was a lot of trouble to get into, but I don't think that people should use it as a cop out if they had especially checkered record, we'll call it, because of Warped Tour and things like that. I don't think you can blame the tour. Mm-hmm. I don't think, not at all.
I agree.
You can say there's some simple questions you can ask people. You know, how old are you? Stuff like that. If you really want to talk about like I'll be real. That's why people get in trouble. You know, mm-hmm. And you cannot be an asshole to people and stuff. Like I think that I did my fair share of partying and like quote unquote bad boy shit, but I don't think I hurt many people in the process. And I'm not like, and most people didn't, you know. So most people are good people. I believe that with like the world. I believe that with the sample of the population of guys backstage or girls backstage at Warped Tour. I believe that with people in general. Most people are good. So there were some people who had like, you know, there were bad people because you have a bunch of bands. So you have so many artists together. There's bad people, you know, just like any gathering of people, there's going to be bad people. So I think that bad people on Warped Tour were in a position to do bad things easily. And then I think that good people were chilling. Like a lot of them, I'm many great like friendships and stuff where we did nothing wrong besides get like fucked up. Yeah, we met girls and stuff, but they were my age and they were older than me, and they were, you know, and people were single and things. People were on a level were behaving like adults. You know what I mean? Yeah. Always. So and that's happen. What. Yeah, it happens most of the time. You don't
primarily
because it's not news, so you don't hear about. Oh, guess what happened on? I don't know. Guess what happened on so and so's bus tonight? What? Their friends came over and they smoked a bong and watched a movie, and one of them met a girl, and tomorrow he's going to text her because he got her phone number.
Yeah,
what? Wow, look at that.
And they might even like go out on a date.
Yeah, no, like it's not.
Just has to make sure she's one of the Midwest girls, though. Make sure it's in line with your criteria first, and then maybe go on the date.
Yeah, it's just you guys get what I mean. They're like, yeah, Warped Tour was nuts. Don't get me wrong, but like there was tons of situations I got myself out of, or would never have. There's like I'm like, you know, you walk past. There's so many bands. I remember walking around with people and seeing another group of people, and it's like high school. You get a vibe. You're like, I would never hang out with them. They're into something I don't want to be involved with, or something like on some level. You know, so I just think that like a lot of kids who got on that tour who got into trouble probably were going to get in trouble, and that tour just like little expedited it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Gave them the freedoms.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, any tour was going to give them the freedoms. I'm not putting that on Kevin Lyman or anyone.
Right, of course.
Any tour where they were playing for people was going to give them the freedoms.
Yeah, especially when you are that young And,
Yeah.
you know, if you're just turning 18 or you're still in high school or you're just getting into college or even just out of college, you're most likely probably still within your range of your family home or living within the home or with family members or somebody like that. And if you're like, oh man, I'm gone for the summer or for like a month or something, you're like, no rules, no nothing.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, and it's a lot of that too. Like it was like a lot of. I think a lot of the people who couldn't handle their life on a thing like Warped Tour were less experienced touring, honestly. It's like the kid, you know, when you first move into the dorms, it's the kid who obviously has never gone to a party until now. Was like wasted, who didn't do any cool stuff in high school and is getting all out of his system for the first time now. You know, there's like a lot of that energy around 2012 Warped Tour. There was a lot of that energy with a lot of bands. You know,
And I feel personally attacked by your words right now, but it's.
I was about to say, I am also.
where were they? I was just saying.
Look, I'm the kid. I'm the kid saying like, "Yo, come to my dorm. I'm playing Smash Brothers. I'll fucking take you down." Like,
no,
dude.
but that kid. You're the kid. That's cool. You're not going to get in any trouble. People should hang out with you. Like,
I've been saying that, but then now that I'm older, I'm like, please don't hang out with me, please.
I have to bully him to hang out.
I think there's a level of excitedness around that time with those bands, and we were all, a lot of us, we're talking about 2012. I was the age of, I was college aged, so Man Overboard. It's not just Warped Tour. Like Man Overboard would play colleges, and I would disappear because I didn't have a girlfriend, and this whole street is sorority houses. But I'm like 21, so it was like nothing. That wasn't like, you know what I mean? It was normal. I was the age. I was the age of the kids that were supposed to be there. So there was a lot of that, you know. And I think it was like, and then a lot of like normal stuff, at least for our band. That was like the crazy for me. I'm speaking for me because a lot of them were like with the women they're like married to already when we were that young, but I wasn't. For a while I was single of it and running around, but my point is that like you can run around and not wreck lives, bro.
And be
you know what I mean?
super normal.
Yeah, like you can
dude.
have a good time, be chill, and not ruin lives. It's a really crazy concept, but it's actually pretty simple.
Because I'm not trying to sound high and mighty. That's the only reason I say it. Like I'm not like some angel at all, but like I'm not a monster either.
You could just be like, I have been rationalizing it in my brain of like, everybody's just on their own journey, and some people just have a lot of comments on someone else's journey instead of just reacting to their own. And there are a lot of people whose journey is like, uh-oh, you became the villain. But there's a lot of people who are just like learning from their experiences and making these mistakes and growing up. They're just doing it front of us. And being in the music scene, it's like a lot of them are doing it through their music too. So we're literally like listening to them and hearing them and watching them grow up in front of us, and we're holding them to standards we wouldn't want to be held to, and holding them to standards we wouldn't hold anyone we know up to. And
you're probably right. But like, you know, it is what it is. I'm not going to complain. I want to play music for a living. So if the people make the rules, you know, I'm going to play ball, whatever it is. But like, it's not hard for me to play ball, really. So, you know, I don't have any. It's like I said, 9 out of 10 people in the bands you like are people always asking me like, what about this band? Are they jerks? I'm like, no, people aren't really jerks. Or like, like, you know, some people are, I guess, jerks, I guess, but like, I don't. It's none of the things you're worried about. Like, trust me. Everybody finds out about fucking everything. You know what I mean? Like, and 9 out of 10 times, people are not doing anything wrong out there in the world. But it's that being said, it's important to. I just want to add, it's important to listen to people if they did say something happened, and you know, always take everybody's words seriously for sure. But I think that people should rest assured that from my experience, there's more good guys and girls out there than in bands and people in general.
Yeah.
You know? Because I hate that rep. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of the rep. So sick of it.
No, it's saying like something bad happened here. We're gonna keep looking for bad stuff that happened here.
Yeah,
and it's like, dude, just
and I don't even want to be. It's like I told you guys, I'm trying to shed the whole pop punk thing anyway, and that's not really why. But you think that helps? It does not.
Yeah.
Nope.
It doesn't help. Doesn't help at all. So yeah, like bye. I don't want to be attached to that. That's kind of a deal with this band too, you know.
So it's like.
Go ahead, Lizzie.
Wow, I see. But so like you're kind of going this new direction to shed and get away from it. And again, I know we've talked about like kind of growing up and growing out of it. So what can we expect? So I saw that on Twitter that you were posting about possibly shooting a new music video. Mm-hmm. So can we expect to see these new themes and this new kind of like updated side to you within
yeah, for sure.
that?
Yeah, we shot the video actually last night.
Oh shit!
Or 2 nights ago. But yeah, for sure. And like, it's not a groundbreaking new side of me. I don't think really. It sounds like me. There's some like music. I'll tell you guys, like musically, there's some like keyboards and synth sounds that I don't think Man Overboard would use. And a lot of times we're using like programmed and electronic drums instead of acoustic ones for some portions of the song where Man Overboard probably wouldn't do that either. And that's like what I mean where I'm like, it's less like punk. There's also a couple songs on the EP that have like violins and shit where I'm not sure that Man Overboard would do that either. But it's like the same thing in the sense where it is just like it's me sounding like me singing songs that sound like songs I would write, like, you know, and but yeah, in the video, I think you'll just see me and my band dance around, and you'll see me sing the song and stuff. I think I probably look a little bit older. My hair's longer, but I don't think I changed that much. I tried to dance in our new video. Because I used to have like these moves. I used to get compliments on my moves, like after Man Overboard shows. Like sometimes people would be like, "I love how you dance," and like stuff like that. And I liked it. Like I really appreciated it. It was like I loved being told that. Mm-hmm. So I tried to like bust it out again and like be that in the new video, you know. So it's like I still want to be me, you know. I just don't want to. I really am just trying to be like, hey guys, just don't make it so I have so like don't be weirded out if I don't have like the most pop punk song in the world. Mm-hmm. It's still gonna be like pop music, and it's still gonna be like rocking or whatever, you know what I mean? Like I just want to be have a little more room.
Yeah. You want to have a dance off to the song.
I am very more into like a song that I write being danceable, I will say, than Man Overboard ever got to really like express for me personally. I'm really into like dance music and rock. So like my whole life I've loved like old like hard rock and like metal that have like straight like bucket like, and I love techno that's like I like the idea of being able to like even to pop punk or to emo or something like shit with like. So it is kind of like what you just said. Like more it will be like kind of like Man Overboard with more of like a dance party thrown in.
So we're breaking the news that Zachary Ross and The Divine is basically just hard style, and
it's hard techno.
Hard techno.
Oh man.
So
New Jersey hardstyle techno.
New Jersey hardstyle. Which
everyone's gonna think is the other hard sound. Be like, LOL, Bessie, you're in.
Yeah, it's we sound like Rob Zombie basically.
Okay, look.
All right,
that works for me. That makes me.
It's a vibe.
Yeah, we're like a mix of like Britney Spears and Korn.
Okay,
that's a real wild.
But like at the same time, I hear it.
I know
what
you
in my head.
mean.
Yeah, honestly, no joke, and we don't sound like this at all. We were like super baked, but we were in the studio, and I did say one day that I was like kind of serious. I was really high, but I was kind of serious. I was like, I feel like we're like a mix of like Guns N' Roses and Madonna. And my bass player was like, yeah, I know what you mean, but we're not. I see how you think that. Mm-hmm. I do see how you think that, and you're not crazy, but we're not. I was like, cool.
Point at the music where it sounds like
where it sounds like that.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's like I could make a case. I could.
And like, That's the kind of thing I would love to see a Twitter argument about and be like, no, I proved it here and now. Guns N' Roses, Madonna. That is what the new band.
I'll do it myself. I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
I will start the discourse.
When the song, that's the song with the video. When the video's out, I'll be like, yo, so here, I'm going to explain to you guys how this sounds like Madonna, and then I'm going to explain to you how it sounds like Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Article A, Madonna. And then it'll be one of those things at the end of the tweet that says like 1/8.
Yep.
Oh my God, yes, the thread.
Red / question mark.
Then you're going to have to tag Anthony Fantano. He's going to be like, no, it doesn't. You're going to be like, actually, I will cause discourse with Anthony Fantano.
Fantano's wrong on this one. Pre wrong on this one.
We know he's going to say it's wrong anyway. We're like, no, dude, you are wrong.
Fantano, you're wrong.
He's wrong.
Disagreement already. What are your... I don't know. I don't think you've announced anything about a touring plan or anything like that, but do you have any thoughts or feelings on what a tour looks like, what you're going to do for it? Are you going to do small venues or big venues? I don't know.
We try to do as both shows as we can where we make as much money as possible.
Fuck yeah.
But, no, I mean, honestly, I would like to support some bigger bands first, but yeah, I'm touring with a full band. It's me playing guitar and singing, and then a bass player, a lead guitar player, and a drummer. For now, 4-piece like that. And I think as the years go on, hopefully I would like to add, maybe as time goes on, I'd like to add someone else playing guitar so I didn't have to sometimes, or I would like to add someone who was on keyboard, because we're gonna have a lot of stuff running, like tracks and Pro Tools and stuff. And but that's because that's like another expense. That's another person. So hopefully, as there's more, as the project goes on, I'd like to bring somebody to do that stuff live, set somebody up on stage with a synth or keyboard or something. But yeah, we're gonna tour as much as we can. I hope I don't know, I can't like say specifically what yet, but I hope we hit the road around November in America for a few months. We'll hopefully do like this whole country, and when we come home from that, I would like to get to work on the band's first full length, because this is going to be an EP that we're going to drop an EP in August. So I would like to, like I said, tour on that through the fall or the winter, and then hopefully get, some fans and stuff of this band amassed, and and come home and have some people too excited that we are making a long record, Yeah.
A long play.
Boy.
A long boy, a big boy. I feel weird starting off with a big boy. I don't think you should. I don't think I should right now.
Like, it makes sense to get as much material out to amass those fans. # amass those fans. But then you also, I assume, probably want to make a project that is a more cohesive, longer form project. And I believe firmly in the just drop a bunch of singles, drop an EP, drop a record, and whatever. But I do think there is still space for musicians to make a longer piece of art that stands on its own, and all of it goes together to make one cohesive project, and not just dropping a bunch of drop your poppy songs, put them all out, give me as much as you have, because I'll listen to all of it. But also, if you're I want you to get heady with this record, I'm like, okay, let's go. Have it.
Yeah, I almost feel like I have to earn that with people. I'm trying to start a whole new band. It's got a new name. What the fuck is The Divine? Why should I expect 35, 40 minutes of your time? I don't know if I really should. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think I should be stoked if you have a couple this summer, my immediate future, I think I should be stoked if you have a couple singles of ours, on a few of your playlists, and that I should be stoked if you get our EP, and then hopefully you're going to come see us on a tour, and you're going to be like, man, I love their EP and they ruled live. I love that band. And if you didn't follow us on everything, by then you'll start to follow us, and then around then I would feel more comfortable. It's like your longer form. You're asking for more of their attention at once. It's kind of who the fuck are you to me? Like, who are you, Zach? Who are you to just walk back into my Spotify after not putting out Overboard for 5 years and then just being like, oh, I should listen to 12 fucking songs of yours right now? Like, I'm not gonna. That's what I think it would be like. That's how I imagine it. But it's like, oh, he has an EP, cool.
I've got 15 minutes, but I don't have 45
that's
minutes.
chill. We can get through it, and we can like vibe check it.
Yeah,
we can vibe check it on the way to the gym, whatever.
Like, oh, I'm driving now over to the grocery store. I'm just gonna pop on, this 15-minute EP and go, oh shit, now I want more. I want 30 minutes. I want 45 minutes. And now it's like,
now you want it. I'd rather make the record when you want it. If I know. You know what I mean? It's an appetizer.
Mm-hmm.
You think you're hungry. You think you're hungry, but you're not hungry yet. I want you to be hungry. You'll be really hungry. Yeah.
That sounds like a perfect way of like telling somebody like, I'm going to make you a record and you're going to be hungry for it. You're going to sit down. You're going to have a delicious meal. We're going to start with an appetizer. And after that, we're going to have dessert.
It's the same thing. I mean, I'm kind of like, this is what you, I'm giving you, you thought this is what you wanted, so here it is. And then a few months later, oh, by the way, here's what you actually want. And then you're like, oh, damn, this rules. Yeah. Hopefully, that's my plan. So we'll see if it works.
It's going to work. I think the plan's going to work.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We're almost at an hour. We are going to hang out over on Twitch with our friends hanging out over on Twitch. Hi, Twitch. And answer any questions we got over there. But before we do that, I want to make sure that everybody who's listening knows where to find all this stuff when it's released and when you announce a tour, when you announce this EP and all this good stuff. Where can everybody find you on the internet? Where can everybody follow you? Where can everybody give you their best music takes?
You guys can find me on Twitter. It's Zach Overboard without the E. ZACOVRBOARD. And I can't change it because then I won't be verified anymore.
True.
And then I got to keep it 100, right? And then Instagram is _ Zachary Ross _ Pretty simple. And that's my shit. So you guys can find me there. Those do also, I should say, function as the band's thing. We're not like making a new account and begging you to follow it and not doing any of that crap. Like, just follow me and you'll be good. And I think I'm Zachary Ross 420 on Twitch, but I don't use it a lot right now because I'm doing so much with the band stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Instagram and Twitter is the best way to get in touch with me for sure.
Do you think
follow the band?
Do you think anything like have you considered anything you could do with the band on Twitch?
Yeah, for sure. We just need to get or just to apart from each other. I can think of stuff we can do once the ball's rolling a little bit more. We still need to. I look at that as fun activities we can do once the infrastructure's everything's up and running a little bit more. Yeah, we have a few more dots and crosses, and
What if we just play a big game of Among Us together on Twitch?
That works. Do something easy like that.
I'm trying to bring back Among Us. I miss it so much.
Yeah, good luck with that. I think everybody is over it.
It's so hard. Okay, this is going to sound offensive to a lot of people, but it is so hard to keep people in their house right now to just play video games. Yeah, well, hey, not me. Like, you might have trouble getting me to stay home and play Among Us. I'll be honest with you, but I'm a really big gamer. I love. I'm surrounded by. I have a PS5. I have an Xbox Series X. I have a gaming PC. I play everything. I mostly play fighting games. So it's like my shit. What's your game? What's your game right now? Then it's always Street Fighter. But then what's rotating is I've been playing the new Ninja Turtles game, Shredder's Revenge. Okay, that game is awesome. I play the Evil Dead game, and I've been playing. Microsoft Flight Simulator, actually. Oh my god! Yeah, no, people went nuts for that for a while, and it's still kind of in rotation. Yeah, it's really cool, and just always a lot of Street Fighter. I play Street Fighter. I get in a few matches of Street Fighter every day of my life.
If just hop in for a little bit.
Like online or just like?
No, yeah, like ranked as fuck. Yeah. Like I love Street Fighter.
I grew up a huge Mortal Kombat fan and like used to play
Mortal Kombat
all the time as a kid. And now like I played 11 and I was like, oh, dude, what the fuck is going on? Why? Liu Kang? Why? Raiden? Why?
It's I love Mortal Kombat too. There'll probably be a new one this year. And there'll be a new Street Fighter because Mortal Kombat I think turns 30 or 35 in October. So I imagine they're gonna make like a really try to make a really big deal out of this game that's supposed to come out. But I can nerd out about that stuff like forever and ever.
Well, we will. Also, they did announce a new Street Fighter, so that may be coming sooner. Yeah,
Street Fighter 6. Yeah, that's coming. That's not coming until 2023 though.
Which, like, I saw it and I'm like, weren't all of these the exact? Like for me, it's always the characters because Super Smash Brothers is obviously the fighting game that I play way more often now. But it's like it's all about the characters, and when you're just like showing me the same Street Fighter characters, I'm like, wait, is this new or like what is new?
Yeah, I mean, I see it differently because I look at so much Street Fighter that I'm like, my jaw's on the fucking floor. Yeah, Street Fighter 6. But like, if it's not like your main thing, you're gonna be like, whatever. Age of the game. I think about Street Fighter 6. Said this to my boy earlier today. I think about Street Fighter 6 every day of my life. The one that's not coming out. I swear to God, I wake up in bed. Ever since they announced Street Fighter 6, I wake up in the morning and I'm like, Street Fighter 6 isn't going to come out until 2023. Sucks. And then I just look at the ceiling. And then I take out my phone and I go on YouTube and I watch videos about Street Fighter 5. And then I go, I guess I'll play Street Fighter 5. And then I get on Discord with my friends and and then I talk to my friends about Street Fighter 6. They don't really play Street Fighter 6, but I'm like, in Street Fighter 6, you'll be able to and this and this. And then I'm like, And then I kind of move on with my day. That's like the first hour.
That's like almost a meme. It's like, find somebody who thinks of you as much as Zachary Ross thinks of Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, you need to. Everybody could benefit. I need to find someone who thinks of me the way I think of Street Fighter 6. I would be happy if I did. She was all cute.
We saw on your Twitter, you said somebody was catfishing, pretending to be you.
Yeah, a girlfriend of mine, a friend of mine who's a girl, showed me the account, and it was a different name, and but it didn't say like I'm the guy from Man Overboard or anything, but it was 4 pictures of me, like sure as shit me. But I didn't care. I don't really care. I don't. What? I got bigger things to worry about than one person. Right. I doubt it works. Does anything for this person.
Yeah.
I think they should be themselves.
You're just going to wait until they message you. You're like, hey, I'm in too deep in this relationship. They're asking me to send a photo. Could you do me a solid?
See, this is what I mean when I say I'm no angel. I'll be like, how much money you have in your checking account right now?
Yeah. If they're scamming, you can scam.
I would be, I'd be like,
legally.
I would tell them I want X amount of dollars right now, X amount of dollars on the month for the next 4 months. Then on the 4th month, I would tell the girl.
Yeah. We're going to block this part out of the podcast so that nobody can get on this. Nobody will know this is going to happen, and then they'll be taken.
I wouldn't tell the girl after 4 was fucked up. I would be like, you let me get money to help you. And then money, I'd be like, cool. And then I would just block him and tell the girl immediately and keep his money. Oh my God. And I would text her and be like, so now that I got all this money, you doing anything?
You're like, I am the real guy from Man Overboard.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be cool.
What a story. What a story.
That would be cool.
That's a whole like Lifetime movie.
Yeah. If only it's something cool stuff like that actually happened to me, but it never does.
I mean, I hope that people
orchestrate something.
Yeah, but I also hope people aren't stealing your identity out there like all the time.
I do too. I'm not. I don't think so. I really don't. I don't think I've reached that level of whatever where There's a lot of people out there trying to be me. That's why I thought it was so funny. I mean, if it was something that was happening all the time, I probably wouldn't post about it because I think it would come off like a stealth brag. But I'm like honestly like, wow. You know, like, you're an idiot. Just like, you can't be that bad looking, just like your hair.
Yeah.
Well,
let's move the conversation over to Twitch and talk with all the people hanging out over there. But if you're listening to this, make sure that you go and check out Zachary Ross and The Divine under Zachary Ross's socials on the Twitter and on the Instagram. And if you find him on a dating website, just make sure to ask him about Street Fighter 6. And if they say, was Street Fighter 6, then you know they're lying.
You know it's a fake.
Make sure it's me. Yeah, okay, that's what you're saying. All right, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Street Fighter 6, yeah, I love that game. Be like, Street Fighter 6 isn't out yet. You just failed the test.
2023.
Yeah.
Who are you? What have you done?
Be like, oh, I'm just playing Street Fighter 6. What are you doing? That's how you say that.
This man's a liar. This is a liar. Liar account report.
Yeah, right. No, that was the only time I ever saw that happening, so I don't think it's a regular thing.
Good.
People stealing me.
All right, let's head over to Twitch. But in the meantime, Zach, thank you so much for hanging out with us on the pod tonight.
Hey, thank you guys for having me on the pod tonight. I appreciate it very much.